Yeah, I mean, overall, you know, you start the lineup as Spirit coming in with this Pugna Storm. Do you think that's been answered well by Tundra? You know, what does it seem their idea is against this incredibly strong opening combo to a draft?
I think it's the auras. I think that's why they wanted this Darkseer, because in particular, when you saw them pick it, it's like what they see. They saw Disruptor, Pugna Storm. So you're seeing maybe, you know, he's got support kind of qualities with the Storm, with these two backing up and feeding him stuff like that, but they're limited on damage. So if he gets like a pipe, they won't have damage to kill him. But he didn't see like a core matchup where it's like, hey, wall is amazing here. You know, the lane's amazing here. I have a melee partner. No, he just saw it, you know, a bunch of magic damage. So he saw something that, you know, it must be that, at least from what I'm seeing, is just some sustain to kind of deal with that kind of big lack of damage that Spirit can hit.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you sort of make of the line coming into play? It doesn't feel like this is one of the hot supports right now, but Saksa coming into action with it. He's going to show us how it's done.
This is the time to pick it. You know, we're in group stages. Hero's gotten buffed significantly. Your stun is actually pretty damn good now. It's gotten literally last like what 5 patches or something. Stun's gotten buffed. Hex got buffed. Extra cast range. Versus the Storm and Pugna, you're gonna have multiple disables to control the Storm, but maybe also control the Pugna. So definitely could see some pretty cool stuff from Saksa, and of course we'll have to say it is the potential for the Ags Lion Finger vacuum, which probably won't happen. But either way, the vacuum Lion stun is something that could come into play.
Yeah, if we get to the Ags action, that'd be pretty awesome. But I guess if this game falls to the point where it is going to be sort of that timing where, you know, say it gets crazy late, we're getting these crazy items on the supports. Is there a lineup that feels a bit better to play in a elongated game?
That's a good question. Spirit has a ton of team fights, so I kind of like theirs. The thing is, the
Ursa, the Wombo.
Yeah, it's just like the Wombo combo that comes out from Tundra, and then the core matchup, the Ursa versus the Bloodseeker. Like Ursa, it's a good hero to play versus the Bloodseeker, as BSJ was saying.
Mira, be a big cover there. It's just one more impetus from Sneyking. Might quite have done it, but Mira stay hidden in the tree will mean that Collapse loses Courier here to Sneyking, already causing some annoyances down bottom.
Yeah, this is the lane to watch for me in particular. Like mid, I think we've seen this Storm Timber matchup that they farm versus each other so often. This is the one where I think the most volatility is going to happen. Who's going to die? Who's going to get shut down? Is Skiter going to be able to get that farm up? What item choice is he going to do also? That's the thing I'm curious about. It will be Battle Fury, or will he deviate? Maybe. I don't think he'll deviate, but...
Yeah, Phil. It's just one of those heroes that's still kind of risky to not go the Battle Fury, right?
I'm just like, we haven't seen it, so I'm just wondering, like, maybe Skeeter's like tried something that worked. I doubt it. It'll be different than usual.
Top lane up. We're going to get first blood. 33, and Saksa able to run Miposhka out of the lane.
That is one I would not have anticipated, to be honest with you, with the Bloodseeker backing up there. A very good start for Tundra up top. That's level 1. Like, when did Darkseer get first blood level 1 without a melee support also, too? He's got a line, so... Yeah, I didn't actually get the glance how he died up there.
I mean, if the kills start to roll in on this top lane, does it get pretty difficult for the safe lane of Spirit?
No, I mean, Yatoro, I think he's always going to free farm.
Okay. Like, he'll just have some sort of enough self-sustain with the passive.
Yeah. Miposhka might give up some kills, but yeah, I think Yatoro, he should just be overall fine in this matchup.
Radiant's top tower is
Dropping
under
the kinetic
attack.
field here, but not quite in a position to get aggressive onto Saksa.
No.
Don't have the damage at this point.
I'm just watching. I keep looking at bottom. Like, top, I didn't anticipate that kill would happen. I was saying, like, bottom. I think these heroes are constantly just going to be sitting low. I've seen what Skiter was doing, though. I think BSJ, we talked about it on the panel also, is like the regen in the early laning phase can be difficult. So Skiter's actually buying his own salves and stuff like that.
They might be able to go for this. Decrepify has already been used, so Mira's not going to have any way to protect himself. Tundra. They'll find themselves a second kill already. Collapse stepping forward. Got to be a bit careful. He's got Fairy Fires to play with. So just teasing around with Sneyking here, but still being kept consistently low. Really good space being secured here for Skiter to farm some freely.
This is big. He should be able to get that good time, and we're definitely seeing the Enchantress factor. 3 minutes hits. Healing Lotus has been picked up. Top's doing great. Mid's actually doing excellent. And bottom as well, too. Yeah, Tundra setting themselves up for success in this early game. Skiter, a little careful, but a little aggressive.
It's a bit low this time around, and the blood grenade has come out upon him. See if he can continue to run. They set up with the Decrepify into the blast. It's still not quite enough. Skiter able to escape. Gets back under the safety of the tower and won't quite be able to kill him.
Collapse was 2 mana short. Didn't quite have enough for the spear. Now, these wands are definitely paying off massively bottom, playing versus a Pugna and versus this Mars. Just 4 spells that are constantly being spammed onto. It's definitely helping Skiter as well as Sneyking down here. That's a very ideal start. And now Skiter, he's got raindrop. So yeah, rather than going for that just straight cornucopia at the least for the Battle Fury, it's boots so he can play aggressive with Sneyking. So they can go for these kills and shut down Collapse. While also, yeah, he's got the defensive capability of the raindrop and stuff too to sustain. A hot start.
Yeah, they're trading back really well against the spells that Spirit throw at them down there. Top lane.
Top 33.
They've got the glimpse.
Should have.
And that should indeed be a dead Darkseer 33. He'll try and trade some damage back with the Iron Shell upon him. But he will be going down. Miposhka take quite a bit of damage in return for it. And wait, hold up. Saksa's turned up. 33. He's actually able to walk away.
Taking literally zero damage.
Well, there you go. I think, yeah, Yatoro and Miposhka are going to be rather disappointed with that one. I think they thought that they had him. I think everyone thought that they had him, but they didn't. Nope. 33 walks out alive.
Damage, but Miposhka even, I don't know if it was him, but somebody dropped, I think it was Miposhka dropped a branch to kind of protect himself because he was like, wait a minute, we're not killing this. He might actually turn it. Tundra, all three lanes, as we said, looking excellent. Larl, level 5. Timber, he's 5.5.
He's going to hit the 6.
Larl's going to have to probably move away from the lane as soon as Timber hits 6 to get some junk.
He's going to have to get the 6, elsewhere.
Yep.
For sure, once the chakrams are out for 9.
Those denies make a big deal. 33 and 11 on 9. Universal, baby. That damage.
Yeah, he's going to be at least a full creep wave of XP ahead.
Full arcane boots. I mean, he's going to get it like pretty much right here.
Yeah,
one more creep.
2 more. A bit of an awkward spot for Larl in that mid lane. We'll see how safe he does play it. He does leave the area.
The real scary thing is it's power rooms in about 20 seconds too. So yeah, Sneyking.
I mean, Mira.
Move.
He's going to have to crepify up in a few more seconds. Sneyking, if we get one last impetus, he would have him, but not quite having the range. So Mira's able to live, but yeah, this middle lane, 6 is there on 9. Not the place to go, really for anyone on Spirit.
Nope.
They've got to just sort of accept that this tower is just going to get a bit of a beat down here from the Timber and the creeps.
Oh, this is devastating. 6 minutes, he's going to get power ruined. The supports are now just leaving their lanes isolated. They have the Darkseer Vanguard top. Ursa's feeling good.
And look, the Sneyking come across, and he knows that Larl wants to try and find a 6 around these jungle camps. He's not going to let him have the sort of peace and quiet to do so.
And they see him. They have the ward down.
They know that Larl's struggling. They know he wants the 6. He's trying to find it somewhere. He's not going to get the chance to. Sneyking and Saksa coming across towards the mid lane to help set up and allow 9 to take down Larl. And by the looks of it, take down this tier 1 tower.
And top 33, he's getting gone on, but already having this Vanguard, he's just tanking through it.
They can't.
YatoroGOD just can't touch him.
No. Maybe, of course, once the 6 is there, but then TP play is always going to be available if 33 is able to bait out a glimpse.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Not easy, really, to sort of see areas on this map where Spirit can really make any sort of plays, considering how this opening has gone so far, very much in the favor of Tundra.
I mean, this mid lane is absolutely ridiculous. How
I mean,
one-sided
Miposhka, he's got nowhere to go here. Looking for a courier, doesn't even find it. Another kill for Tundra, and bottom lane Collapse. He's in trouble. 9's coming with a rotation to help out Skiter and Sneyking. See if Collapse can get away from this. 9's still got plenty of mana to play with. Another chakram comes in. Another kill for Tundra. 5-0, 3k lead here at 7 minutes in. Tundra, they're just completely smashing through this opening.
Yeah, and this could snowball pretty quickly with the, Timber Saw being super tanky. We already panel talked about it multiple times. That Spirit could run into some damage issues. Auras are going to come online really quick for this Darkseer with a Timber, who's already going to be very tanky, and has, at least versus Collapse, versus Amaris, he has free kills every time he goes bottom. Some concerns for Spirit now already. 7 minutes in, a huge lead. They're going to have to try to help Larl get back in this game, maybe get some stacks going for him, and at least try to secure a power rune. I see the two supports making the rotation over toward mid. But at this point now, 9 is... I don't think you can really threaten him at all until you get these level 6s on the supports.
No, absolutely not. 9 has nothing to fear here.
Saksa's even getting aggressive with this haste rune. Larl actually lets himself get hexed.
He's not got a huge amount of mana either. Whew. They're just able to walk up with the combo, Larl. He's able to zip out in time, but living on the edge there.
His Pugna's not even... They're not 6... I mean, it's only 8 minutes in, obviously, but, they're getting rotated and pulled so much now toward this mid. These supports are going to suffer on levels, and you really want to get that early 6 on your Pugna so you can start fueling up this storm.
His quick moves from Tundra as well.
They're going quick.
Straight towards the bottom. You've got pretty much 4 of them around here. Saksa aggressively looking to set up beyond the tier 1 tower. Mira will drop down the ward, trying to dissuade them from diving in for more. Larl TP's in. He's going to look for Saksa, but the Hex is at the ready. Still got mana to play with. Will continue to commit forward to take down Saksa will get the kill.
They'll get 9.
I mean, the question is if they can get out. They do indeed get a second one with Yatoro swinging over. So Team Spirit, they bring in the numbers to respond to this aggressive play from Tundra. They're able to stop it. Sneyking, pinned to the wall. Spirit finally finding themselves some favorable action here as they bring the team together and take the team fight that Tundra was trying to force.
Smart way to try to recover things. They're like, okay, you know what? We need to try to reestablish stuff in these first 9 minutes. If they want to try to bring numbers, we're going to bring more. It does cost all 5 heroes to make the rotation over, which means 33 is farming during all of it, which I think is like a triple ancient stack. But either way, they need to make these moves right now after this laning phase. So good type of recovery here, taking out 9. And that's pre-6s actually on the supports. So that's actually, that's pretty damn solid. But either way, I don't think Tundra's going to be too fussed about it because they're just going to back right back up. As you said, you know, the Darkseer is free farming and skiter's chilling. But a good move at the least. It's Collapse, he's going to be able to get 6 off of that, and the support's also getting closer and closer.
Really good involvement from Yatoro. They're definitely one of those kind of tough decisions, you know, pre-10 minutes when as the carrier, like, do I have to leave my farm to try and join the fight? And in that case, absolutely. So very much worth for Yatoro to be a part of that.
Yep.
And they needed him. They needed him, otherwise they weren't going to be getting the kills that they did. So
their best real damage is going to just be coming from Rupture at this point, it feels like. If they can do some type of, like, Rupture glimpse play, which I didn't see if it was actually what pulled him, but either way they glimpsed him into the situation where the Bloodseeker was, then they could actually put some decent damage. But, yeah, I don't know, 5-3. But I think Tundra, super happy, because they just pulled 5 heroes all the way to that side of the map. 33, he's getting these ridiculous item timings, and it's an Ursa who... You know, BSJ was saying it. It's a good core-to-core matchup versus the Bloodseeker, of course, and Ursa's worst time in the game, it really is like the first 9 to 10 minutes. He's made it through that.
He's doing all right, yeah. Well,
Phase Cornucopia, he's chilling.
Top 4 net worth right now. Level with Yatoro. I mean, he was ahead, of course, but Yatoro did catch up with that involvement he had in the fight just now. So, no, we'll see. Yeah, Battle Fury should be on at good time. And, you know, for Tundra now, the game has resumed, so you'll be able to get that on your screen, so you won't have to suffer through watching this anymore. In terms of what Tundra do next, you know, they went for that kind of 4-man play. Didn't work out. Do they just sort of get back to farming, or can they still continue to keep going as 4?
Oh, keep going. I think it's Nine's game to just play as aggressive as possible. He's a Timbersaw versus, as we said, like the limited damage and stuff like that, so I think he can play as aggressive as possible. Skiter, he probably wants to sit back and farm a little more, but the other 4 on Tundra, I'd imagine they can, they want to look for fights. Spirit can fight back, though. They're level 6s. It's starting to get online, as we mentioned. They have good team fight. That is what they did set themselves up with this Mars, with the Pugna Disruptor. Starting to get themselves some push started, too, around mid. Oh, Mira.
Top tower is under attack.
Still not 6 on Mira.
And they'll just bring 9 in. And as soon as he's here, it makes it a bit tougher for Team Spirit to make a move to continue to pressure the tier 1 mid.
Yeah, that was a bit of an interesting smoke there from Sneyking. It was totally spotted. 9 was on a creep wave in mid, but I guess he just really wants to make it to top faster. They want to start pressuring.
Radiant's turret has been killed.
So they can get Larl does find 9's courier, so that's the cloak gone.
He's found Miposhka up top.
He did just TP up in Miposhka. So the rupture on a Saksa, but Saksa's able to stand his ground. Miposhka will go down, 33. He wants to continue to chase on towards Yatoro. Skiter, he has joined the fight as well. They want to try and find this Bloodseeker. Yatoro with the juke. Does have a TP available, of course. There will be ways to cancel it. And they just got the straight up raw damage to bring him down. So Yatoro and Miposhka taken out the top lane, the tower to fall. This time round, Spirit, they weren't able to respond with the numbers.
And look at this move. 9, he's already making another move toward bottom to set up for Collapse and Skiter.
And this is quick because Spirit, they're smoking up with the 2 of them to maybe see if they could join forces with Collapse. But indeed, maybe unbeknownst to themselves, they're going to be walking into a lot of members of Tundra. They're going to try and burst through 9, and they will manage to be successful. Despite Tundra coming in with the backup to prepare for that sort of move, they weren't actually able to do anything to stop this Timbersaw just getting blown up.
Really heads up move, honestly, from Spirit. Whoever made that call, like they're like, oh, they're definitely going to be going through the rifts. Like Collapse, be careful. He actually distanced himself as they get there. That's the 2 heroes. Oh, actually, they have quite a bit they could do to kill this Timbersaw. That's the 2 good magic damage heroes at least. That Pugna and Storm.
Some nice moves from Tundra, for Spirit, but still not quite enough to close the gap. This lead that Tundra have.
Up top, Static Storm, and
they really was Saksa dead.
That's some hate.
They have had enough of this lion.
Good lord.
Goodbye, Saksa. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, when they're pretty, they're probably feeling a little bit behind, so they're probably like, we got to get like some kills just to get Yatoro some space to farm up here. He is Maelstrom. It is finished up.
see that move again down bottom here. As you say, Collapse just sort of pulling the action further up the lane, so and pulling 9 a little bit further away from the potential backup that he did have. Nothing to be done there to save him. Great setup, great bait from Collapse.
Yeah, really good call. Whoever made that call for the movement. Collapse, he is going to be rushing the blink, so going for that second type of initiation so they can get the catch and stuff like that. I'm definitely feeling the concerns, though, as the panel was saying for Spirit a bit. Lanes, of course, had gone in the favor of Tundra. Darkseer is going to be huge, and he's gonna build these auras.
He's got his pipe done, right?
Yeah. So pipe versus Pugna, Disruptor Storm, even versus Collapse. A lot of his damage early is kind of magical. Share of Rebuke is physical, but yeah, the other spells, of course, will be magic. It's going to block a lot. And they have a lot of team play.
And I think it was so that last move as well they made bottom. Was that at a point where 9 still didn't have his cloak because it was on the dead courier?
Yeah, it was dead.
So maybe if he'd actually had that and Larl hadn't sniped his courier early, they might not have quite killed him, right?
Maybe. I mean, they still had a lot of damage.
I guess. It would have been close.
Miposhka?
Would have been close.
He was trying to go for some cheeky Wisdom Rune steal play, I guess. If you live for it.
He's out.
He doesn't get the rune, though, but does get a nice glimpse of Saksa. 1 for 1. And there's, I believe, Battle Fury's done.
Yeah.
Peter also, of course, he did that rush just a bit earlier. 100. Look at the macro game for them. It's just a little bit quicker for Spirit, even though they did make those couple nice reactive moves to Spirit. Mira.
He's going to get caught out here by Saksa. Quick setup and a burst with the finger. Get himself a juicy finger stack.
My real big concern is just like how Larl, he started to recover. He's 1600 behind the other mid. It's the game that he's set up for. Because he's playing into this Lion. When you're playing behind a Storm Spirit into this, it can be incredibly difficult. So I'm just worried because of how one-sided that mid matchup really did go. Maybe they can set up here for 9 though. This could be a pretty big kill. He's got a lot of wand charges.
Enough to save him. Yeah, indeed, as he's ruptured. He will still pop the one, but no saving himself. To be had there with the ults dropped down upon him.
It's a nice move. Larl didn't have to commit too much mana. He's got the Pugna here now too, so they can keep the ball going. Keep the ball rolling here a little bit here. 20 seconds till Timber's not... Till he's going to be back up. And they find another big kill. Their lineup definitely thrives off just like getting a kill into continuous kills. Because they do have that disruptor, of course, with the Storm. So they have a ton of different ways to chase if they do get that first kill.
Their eyes on Skiter. Showed down bottom.
So
yeah, with his Aegis, he's going to be feeling very safe for the next few minutes. And indeed, with the solid timing of the Battle Fury, highly likely his farm is going to skyrocket. And so on the side of Spirit, a bit more emphasis on Yatoro needing to be involved as a Bloodseeker to keep on par in being involved in kills, being involved in action.
Tundra's super ready to fight. As you said, Pipes online even went back and finished the Vanguard on top of it afterwards too. They are feeling super strong versus any team fight that comes from them right now.
And they're going to go straight towards Yatoro. He's on his own right now. He's close to the tower. Saksa, he's able to get the setup. TPs will be coming in. See if they can burst through Yatoro quick enough. They certainly can. In fact, TPs are cancelled there. They know that Yatoro, there's no chance of saving him.
I think that was the 25 cast range hex buff, I'm not going to lie.
I was going to say, it definitely came in at kind of an unnatural sort of range, so I imagine that is just sort of the feeling, as you say, of having that extra bit of reach, because it was close to him maybe getting into the trees and being able to fog.
Oh, and this is devastating. Glyph is on cooldown. They are going to lose a tier 2 as well as losing Yatoro right before it. Tundra snowballing massively in these last few moments. 9-6, 5k lead, setting up for another kill perhaps.
Saksa, he's ready and waiting to open in onto this, but Collapse, he's already out with the blink. Miposhka still hanging around in the tree line. See if Saksa's able to close the gap. Jumps forward to Tundra's toy, but backup's in. Larl zips forward aggressively on the wall. Saksa's able to turn and get the hex off with the Static Storm. The Arena and the Kinetic Field will trap the 2 of them, allows them to bring down Saksa. And with the 4 of them, they'll be able to have the damage to take out 33 on top of that. Jumping forward for Collapse, they're looking for more. Drag back with the glimpse into the spear. One tower still alive to be able to trap Sneyking, but still looks like he's run out of ways to escape. Double kill for Yatoro. Spirit able to push down that tier 1 and find some big kills there.
Yeah.
Get Yatoro continuously involved in this action that he needs to be.
A 4k swing, pretty much. A 3 or 4k swing just because they have the numbers prepared down there. Tundra, they rainbow TP, but they get caught in a weird kind of 1-by-1 sequence, and they don't have their Ursa or Timber to actually join and back them up. So great spell coverage, great spear combo. They're coming out from Collapse again.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of this game was, as the panel said, right, the start of the game, it had the the chance to be very difficult for Spirit. You know, Tundra, they were kind of setting themselves up to have this early advantage. But Spirit, they're dealing well under the pressure, and they're certainly starting to take away that lead that Tundra were growing. Another fight like that, and Spirit, they'll take the advantage.
No, absolutely. And it's really important that Larl, I think he got 1 or 2 of the kills down bottom. Yeah, he got at least 1 of them, but gets involved massively. He is pretty much totally caught back up.
Yep.
So I had some concerns for him. Quickly it gets changed from that movement, and of course he does have that Pugna who's constantly keeping him topped off. And ult's gonna be coming back up pretty soon, so Tundra, they're also ready to fight. It's all gonna be about these auras and who gets initiated on. Is Skiter with Blink leading the charge.
And he's just going to throw himself straight in towards Miposhka. Decrepify's there from Mira's. The finger from Saksa. Just enough range there to finish Miposhka off through the Decrepify. Claim another finger stack.
Worst feeling ever as a disruptor. You just get jumped on first. Never the situation that Spirit really wants to have happen. Spirit needs to have like pretty good positioning in most of these fights, just with Collapse being at the right place at the right time, or Larl getting that jump initiation himself. So I really like the way that Collapse is kind of built for himself this game. He's just building for the team. It's just kind of standard, but pretty important. Just straight Blink and then BKB, just so he can show up to every single fight. And now they're going to have BKB on Yatoro too, so some timing's being hit on Spirit to take these fights perhaps.
And who's sort of Yatoro going to kill off this Enchantress? As they've got easily enough burst, in fact, there with Larl getting the setup. Sneyking not standing a chance.
Big moves, and that's like, yeah, they don't commit anything for it either, so they're going to look for another setup. Perhaps Larl pump back up to full for Mira. Hey, what are you asking the Bloodseeker? What's he gonna like be?
Yeah, who's he going for in the fight? So you just popping this BKB as Tora and just going for the supports, or do you want to try and mess with one of the cores?
Depends on positioning mostly. I mean, if he sees a positioning where he can just get the Darkseer silenced and killed instantly, that's going to be huge. So maybe the Darkseer in a lot of situations. Those are probably the 2 most likely, because the supports should be hidden in theory. Another kill. Spirit's racking him up.
They are. They're finding these openings that the Tundra's kind of leaving. Skiter be able to solo this Tormentor.
He's scared.
Oh, he doesn't want to do the last hit.
He was afraid. I think he thought he was going to die. Now he might die for it himself.
How about the Blink?
They're on him.
They're chasing him. He's going to go for the TP out, but they've found him.
And they're going to
go. They certainly are half HP. They could commit him with the 3 of them.
So
I mean, the question was,
do they know because of the thing? Do you still see the graphical bug when people are hitting the Tormentor on sometimes?
That's a feature.
Sorry, do they still see the graphical feature that happens when people are hitting Tormentor? I think they did.
I think you might do.
They pinged him.
The question is though, was Skeeter's maths correct? Would that last hit have killed him? Or I think he had it. I think he was okay. I don't think it would have killed him.
I don't think it would have killed him.
He had about like 500 HP. It would have been very close.
Maybe he was scared because he was dropping in thirst range, and he was like, "Oh God, if this hit doesn't kill, then I'm gonna be in thirst."
But when you've committed that much, I think you just accept your fate. You're like, all right, well, I mean, I'm gonna die, but at least I get the Tormentor.
Either way, Spirit's happy because they now took the Wisdom Rune. They took the Tormentor. They're gonna get their Wisdom Rune. Yatoro is gonna be top net worth in a couple of seconds here, and the whole game swapped around Spirit in a very comfortable spot.
For sure. I mean, you kind of rewind, about 10 minutes or so. It looked like this one may have been set up to be a kind of 20-25 minute game.
Yep.
Absolutely not the case now. So we're back to even. The Skiter, he went for it, and then he didn't go for it, and they went for him, and they got him, and they got both. They get the Tormentor as well. I don't know. I think he would.
I think he had it.
As I said, even if you're not having it, 1 hit away, you just roll the dice. You just hit it, and if it was enough damage to kill you, it was enough damage.
Yeah, like what's the worst that happens? Right?
We've just knocked out of the game for 30 seconds or something at this point, and it's slowed down a bit.
We've seen everybody die to Tormentors. We've seen carries die to Tormentors. We've seen players get dunked from axes as Medusa. We've seen literally everything. So, Skiter, that hurts. That's a pretty massive momentum kind of swing too, because that was the double BKB timing for Spirit. They got what, like 4 or 5 consecutive kills. Tormentor, Wisdom Runes, etc. Now they're gonna. Larl might just have a BKB of his own pretty much right after having 2 items picked up freely after these last few engagements. So triple BKB. The control is going to be pretty limited for Tundra. They don't really have much to actually catch these heroes unless the Lion gets a Blink initiation, and Saksa still doesn't have that Blink. Yeah, Mira, I mean, Larl's just always full mana, so always ready to fight because Mira's literally just hugging him this entire time.
Seeing if they can set up for anyone to to come in and defend this tier 2 bottom, but doesn't look like Tundra's going to be sending anyone down here anytime soon.
This next timing for Tundra feels like it's going to be a bit difficult. They have the aura, so perhaps they can sustain it if the initiation like gets a bit weird. Then perhaps they can like look to take over the fight. But there's triple BKB timing on Spirit. So these 3 heroes are going to be pretty threatening to just walk in and just go for these backline heroes and focus fire whoever they want. So let's see which team looks to force the issue a bit more here. It feels like Spirit have a timing to force a little more here. But as we know, Tundra, very good about playing the map, looking to avoid timings until they feel like they have a timing. So let's see if Spirit does get the connection for themselves with this triple BKB. I think that ward actually caught the smoke. It did. So Tundra, they know. So let's see if they can find Skiter, because I think, yeah, during that time that they went to the left side, they did place a couple wards. So.
Yeah, no, Skiter's just going straight back to base. He's not taking the risk of trying to farm the triangle right now with the fact that Spirit's sweeping across the map like this.
Yeah. I mean, in a typical Tundra fashion. They have like really good wards placed around the map, so they get good information, so they can split up and wait for timings for themselves. Next timing, yeah, Roche gonna spawn in 5 seconds.
Oh, it's perfect for Tundra.
They're gonna get it.
Yeah, Skiter straight over to this area of the map. Sneyking, if he keeps vision upon it, which he will, they'll know it's here. And yeah, this is after Spirit's made that whole smoke movement towards the top, so a lot of time wasted for Spirit, and Tundra getting things back on track with what looks to be an inevitable Roshan.
And now Tundra, they could maybe even smoke out of the pit here and look for a fight themselves. They do have a bit of item timings also. I see 9 has completed his Octarine with Akaya-san. She's got a greater healing Lotus also. Pretty big deal. Let's see if they do look to take the fight. I think Skiter, yeah, Blink and BKB is also done.
Jesus, they're aware. 9.
This could be
he'll grab that as well.
This could be a pretty deciding fight. Whoever comes out ahead of this one could just snowball a bit here. Let's see who gets the jump.
It's a tough one for Spirit to take, but not a fight that they're scared of taking.
No.
As they're coming at with the smoke.
Didia on Larl. He gets jumped first.
It's going to give them some information here. The question is if Tundra are still going to get jumped by Spirit now that they've sort of spooked each other.
Both teams want the initiation first. Saksa does have the blink. Will they get the vacuum combo? Not easy to do this versus these BKBs.
In fact, Tundra's headed straight past them.
Yeah.
Across the river, they're going to check out the triangle. Spirit's still on Tundra's half of the map.
Ooh. I like this from Yatoro. This is a cool switch up in the build. He had the Mjolnir queued up, and then he just goes straight Nullifier. So just, of course, playing versus Darkseer, but even versus the Ursa, this might be an item that actually enables him to be able to just stand toe-to-toe. This and Basher, right? This, Basher, Butterfly, and stuff like that eventually, maybe if he wants to go down that route. This could be cool. I'm looking forward to see this Nullifier. Moving Crimsons, Auras, etc. It could be strong. Spirit, they're walking up.
Maybe Collapse can get a jump. Skiter's going to show he's going to make the jump first, but immediately Miposhka throws him up in the air with the Yules, drops down the kinetic field. Coming to stun, the BKB's popped by Collapse. Drop the arena down, they managed to catch Sneyking. In fact, 33's just getting destroyed here by Larl and Yatoro. The heals come out. Yatoro's going to continue to push on with the BKB. They're taking out the 2 of them. 33 Saksa taken out. They can look for more here, Spirit. As 9, who will manage to get up to the low ground with the Timber Chain. Collapse turning towards Sneyking. He did manage to live through this all so far, but the Vortex comes in from Larl. They drag him back. Larl picks up another Yatoro. He's got the movement speed to step away. 9 tries to get in range, but the Glimmer Cape's up onto Yatoro. He's able to sneak away. As Spirit, they come out on top.
Who got the gem? Did you even? I didn't even see where it went. Gem. Okay, Miposhka did recover it from Mira. They controlled Skiter the whole fight. They got the 2 main heroes inside the wall. They got the Timber and the Darkseer. A perfect kind of initiation again from Spirit, even though the Ursa Skiter jumps on backlines. He got full control. He got Yulesed, and then glimpsed back, static stormed, etc. He wasn't able to do much of anything. Spirit, an ideal fight for them with the double BKBs.
Yeah. Definitely seeing the strength that Spirit were aware that they had, you know, to be able to go at this fight into an Aegis on the Ursa, into a Cheese on 9. They knew that they could still take a team fight like this, even
they used
coming from the awkward angle, right?
Yep.
Coming from this low ground, they're still able to get that set up in a way to start things. Toro's goal continues to flow in as he's picked up a completed Mjolnir.
Tundra used the cheese. They didn't end up, of course, like, committing the Aegis, but like they had to use the cheese to try to protect, and they still can't. Yeah, they can't even come out ahead in the fight. And now, I mean, Spirit, everything's coming back up. Yeah, pretty sure they're going to be ready to fight again. And Toro, he's becoming quite a beast.
No, for sure, we're definitely going to see Spirit look for these fights even more frequently now. They're starting to get this momentum here, 27 minutes in.
He gets an Elven Tunic, probably the best neutral item he could have found here versus the Ursa. Level 18 also being hit. Spirit. playing these last few, these last, what, 10 minutes or so, incredibly clean.
Yeah, they keep coming out on top of these fights. You know, when it comes to hitting the creeps, you know, sure, Tundra, they're getting the farm, but when the action kicks off and these teams go head-to-head, Tundra have been struggling to come out with a clean victory in these fights.
33 absolutely needs this item. He needs this BKB, so he does have it finished now. Because, like, I think, what, 2 or 3 fights in a row now, they're just throwing everything onto him. Yeah, sure, you're popping your auras and stuff like that, but you're dying inside that arena every single time, so that long fight's not going in your favor.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Push going in. Arcane ruined up on Skiter. Still has 1 minute left on Aegis. He doesn't have his nullifier just yet, so once he gets that on Skiter, it's going to be easier for him to try to focus fire some targets and just blink BKB and just go for them. Without that, the glimmers, the decrepify is going to be very frustrating. Top, they get the Hex.
Close to the base though, they're still going to try and commit in for this. Collapse, he's protected and able to get the BKB off. They turn around, they completely destroy Saksa. Now they're trying to look towards Skiter as well. He's trapped in by the arena. He's going to get blown up the once, see if they can do it a second time. They have close to the base. With the nullifier, but Skiter, he's already away. He will manage to live, but once again, these sort of fights that the Tundra aren't really finding anything themselves out of. Team Spirit, they deal with the Aegis on Skiter and they keep everybody alive.
I feel like every time Collapse has been there, it's been so beneficial for them. All of his ults have worked perfectly. All of his spears have been perfect for the team, really. Sneyking looks like he's going to be the one who gets left behind here.
Yeah, they'll leave Sneyking to be left on his own. Team Spirit, they push back Tundra's attempts to get close towards the base. And Tundra, yeah, they're really going to have to rethink about how they want to proceed in this game. Like, do they hold things back again for the next Aegis? But obviously that's going to have the concern of this time passing, that the Spirit seem to be getting stronger and stronger within. Now, what do you do now if you're Tundra? You're really struggling to kind of proceed past this point.
I'm trying to think maybe they need a blink also for 33, and you have to have the double
go for the one
initiation.
combo.
You go for that type of blink vacuum stun from the line, but things definitely feel like they're getting difficult. And like we said from the beginning of the game, Spirit's draft does scale very hard with the double cores here, the Bloodseeker and the Storm with that pump up. Definitely feels like the Ursa is going to get to a point where it's going to be him versus the world. And yeah, he's got the good core-to-core matchup versus the Bloodseeker in theory, but the itemization so far from Spirit is amazing. I love the way that they've itemized this game. The Yules on Miposhka, of course, always amazing versus Ursa, Nullifier, as we mentioned before. Every little thing just feels incredible. And Larl now, a lot of these are standard big pickups, of course, but now he's going for Hex. So it's another incredible item, of course, versus the Ursa.
And I guess the thing is now, 30 minutes in with the way that the game's going, next Roshan, it's probably not going to be a free one for Tundra. You'd imagine the Spirit, they will more than happily bring the fight over towards the Roche pit now.
Very close game on the gold front. Definitely feel Spirit, they've been powering up for, how long ago? It feels like a very distant time ago, like 16 minutes ago or so. It's like the Tundra was actually the ones being able to get successful fights back to back to back. Since then it's just Spirit every single time having that edge. Full Hex now though, for 9. Level 19. And he is still scaling, that's the one thing. Will it be enough to scale versus Spirit's strong scaling course as well? We'll have to see.
These almost to save one another though, so not going to be necessarily a guaranteed Hex into a kill if Spirit are around as a team to fight back.
No, Larl super confident, playing with a shield rune up front. Never feeling like he can't get burst down, and now they're smoking. Everything's up.
Tundra, they probably do not want to take this fight. They're smoking in towards it.
They get a big grab.
They see Yatoro at the start. Spear comes out. The Hex to follow up onto Yatoro, but he's able to put the BKB. The heals are coming in with the life drain as well. Yatoro, he can look to turn. They've surrounded Skiter. They'll take him down low. They'll finish him off. Larl with the double. And now they can go for more Tundra. They've got to bail their way out of this. With the kinetic field, the static storm, they've caught the Timber. They've caught 9. They put a stop to his TP. They take out the 3 of them. And it really does feel that Tundra, they're just sort of banging their heads against a brick wall for the last 10 minutes. Every single fight, they're getting absolutely nothing. Team Spirit just continue to outplay and just sort of demonstrate that this game, even though the lead, it's not massive, but it's starting to feel rather impossible for Tundra to do anything.
And they get a pretty good initiation, so they just don't have the damage. He gets decrept, gets saved immediately. He's fine at that point there. Oh boy. And this is an issue, of course, too. I see Skiter, he went for Basher, so not having the Nullifier, this decrep, he's never really been going for focus fire plays like that. It's going to be incredibly difficult.
And of course, these fights going as they have been. Miposhka creeping his way towards the Aghanims, and once he has that on a disruptor, if he's getting the chance to cast his, as he has been this game consistently, it's not a game where they've been finding him very easily at all in these team fights. He drops that down on some of these cores, and then Tundra, they're really going to have no options to survive in these team fights.
It's pretty much the GG for Nursa. And once this Aghanim comes out, the thing is you have to pre-BKB to jump the disruptor, because otherwise you get used and then instant static storm and you're gone. Like the fight is just completely over from there. So yeah, this is going to be pretty tough if he does get that time in there. And he's very close. So Tundra, what's the plan from here?
It's got to be frustrating for them.
I think
that every single move they've made in this second half of the game so far is just it's not worked. Spirit, they've been prepared.
And you can imagine, like Tundra, they probably did feel like, yeah, we got to get these snowballs. These like little things add up, like Skiter dying, giving the Tormentor up, like all these things.
It did start going downhill from then.
Yeah,
it really did.
I still have to give a big amount of credit though to Spirit for the way that they like kind of recovered and especially recovered Larl's game. Yes, it wasn't like 20 minutes of him getting stomped or anything like that, but the first 15 minutes he was struggling, and then he just gets kill after kill after kill. Mira is just sitting behind him, draining him every single time, life draining. He's 6-1 and 12. He's 18 of the 20 kills on this Storm Spirit after he got kind of bullied and lost his tower early. So very good stuff.
Let's see what they can do here. Coming to that point of the game where Roshan will be returning just a few seconds until he's back up. Both teams, of course, now at this point are going to have an interest in this.
Oh, I'm getting blessed. I finally get to see a Bloodseeker Blood Mist game. Every time I wanted it, they never buy it. I've seen like the Bloodseeker versus PLs, they don't buy it. This game, Yatoro's feeling it.
This is a little awkward for Spirit though. They were hanging around here, but pretty much as soon as they left the area, Roshan did respawn.
Seconds.
They're coming back down here, but it's only Mira and Yatoro right now. They don't have the full team with them. So it will be a bit of a chance for Tundra to go for this Roshan without interruption, and indeed they'll get it. Spirit just sort of pulling back from the Roshan at a bit of an unfortunate time, just at the moment that it did respawn. Tundra able to get lucky with that spawn time.
They might still fight. I think they might just still look to go for it here. The Hex instantly collapsed.
They try and return it on towards Lars, and perhaps they'll get the BKB off the spear there as well. They've trapped Skiter. They're going in straight away for 9. Trying to eliminate the Timbersaw first. They'll find it. See in return, Miposhka, he is able to bounce away. He's been decrepit. He yaws up into the air. They can't commit to kill the Disruptor. And now Spirit, they can just swing back in and look to continue to take down further cores. They bring down 33. They get Sneyking. Once again, nobody dying on Spirit. As they tried to get this Disruptor, but Decrepify gets thrown out his way. Miposhka then uses himself up. It's a lot of time trying to get a kill that just completely avoids them. They can't even kill the supports.
No, and Collapse, they actually pre-clicked him with the Hex when he jumped in, and it still doesn't matter. He gets every spell off, they get the connection. Yatoro does 7,000 damage in this fight. He gets all 3 kills. Skiter now also, puts himself on display.
He's trying to make a move here, but I think this is kind of happening because they know that, they haven't been able to fight them for the last 20 minutes.
Nope.
It's probably not going to change. He'll put the BKB.
Rupture, it's back up.
And Skiter, indeed, not even going to be able to crawl back to the fountain. The push will come in on this bottom lane. 7k lead, not the biggest of leads whatsoever, but definitely a game that feels way more out of control than the numbers imply.
With the way that they're getting the jump, every team fight, right? The supports are playing freely on Spirit. Every single time I'm just watching Mira, full health pool, draining his tap allies up. If they can get Larl here, just kidding, he's fine. Yatoro runs in.
Yeah, BKB's out, and Yatoro, he's going to go straight towards Saksa. Saksa taken down. Yatoro still looking for BKB starting to come to an end. The Hex upon him, he has been coming. They're bringing it low, but indeed there's the turnaround. Miposhka's made the delivery here with the Axe. They do lose Yatoro. Sivachi is coming out for 9 as he'll heal back up, but it's 4 dead again on Tundra. See if 9 can continue to do anything more on his own. A buyback will come in from Saksa. Larl,
he gets caught.
He's still got mana to play with. Larl jumps in. Look at the spear to push back the 2 of them. Larl's able to live. The arena's back up. They've caught the 2, but the finger's back up. They try and tether Larl. He uses his last bit of mana to zip in, kill off Saksa, but it was his last bit of mana. He's doing his best here to dodge the spells of 9. He's got the vortex back up. Larl's still alive. Finally dies, but it cost 9 his life. A messy fight. Finally for Tundra they get something, but it's of course still not a lot. as the lead continues to grow for Spirit. Yeah, they're pretty much the only fight where Tundra's found something in the last 25 minutes, and it's still a bad fight.
I love how they, like, Spirit's keenness on just continuing to want to fight, even though they don't really need to continue fighting down there. Disruptor gets his ag, he's like, oh, 3-man ag static storm. And then Collapse gets his refresher delivered, so he's like, oh, I'm jumping in as well. They go for the kills. I mean, they get them at the end. But it is quite a bit giving up, of course, too, because 9, he has hit a huge timing. He actually got the kill before he died, I believe, right? So he's level 25. He just
died to a Remnant, I think. That was the final bit of damage as he chipped away.
So now he actually has double chakram.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the start of this fight, he's level 21.
Yeah,
so
he got four
straight levels from that fight.
So I'm going to be looking at him to actually clear heroes. I think now there's actually burst potential for maybe if they get these hex catches on some of these heroes.
Maybe there is a bit of hope for Tundra here.
Maybe small, very small, of course.
I mean, because how's the buyback situation? Well, it was just Saksa, right, that used his.
Yeah, it was just Saksa, and he got pretty unlucky too. He like jumped to get the hex, but the storm got glimmered as he jumped, and then he got turned and gone on. But then he got lucky because then the spear actually pushed him further into the base, so they had to chase him. Blah blah blah. So it's a funny little fight there. But that was, I believe, also Aegis cheese that was used during the fight, of course, and I believe the Aghanim Blessing for Skiter, he did pick it up early, and he couldn't really do much of anything. He was fully controlled inside that fight when he got chased through, so. Now he has Nullifier. Now maybe he can actually focus fire some heroes through the deep crit. Okay. We'll see.
They've got another Hex picked up on the side of Spirit now. Mira's got his.
Oh my lord, he is huge. I mean, Philosopher's Stone.
As the supports are having a great time on Spirit.
Both of them did have Phillies. They both still do have their Phillies.
Looks like they're setting up again to bring this bottom wave round and maybe try and pressure for the high ground. Still, tier 2 in the mid lane, but the 2 side lanes are open.
Collapse is playing. Collapse is on fire this tournament. I got to watch at least, like, it's of course very early in the tournament, but I got to watch some of his other games earlier, and he was kind of carrying Spirit. I think this game he's not like carrying, but the way his spellcasting, so he's carrying in like a support kind of role as this Mars. He's owning so hard.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely working out to be quite the last pick to their draft.
Yeah. And it's a hero that I think a lot of times, like, we see it, and most people see it like last pick, and it falters pretty hard. Collapses having quite a game. 8 seconds until his refresher's back up. The Spirit's about to look for this fight.
They got it. Try and focus 9 first. That's about half HP. 33 jumps in with the BKB as well, trying to turn things around. 9's able to take the chain up to the high ground, but Larl, he'll be quick to chase him. Take him out. 9 out for 100.
He's in trouble.
Lots of Miposhka on the side of Spirit. Spirit, they're still ready to push on for more kills, more causes. Skiter, no saving for him. 9 and Skiter out of action for 90 seconds without buyback.
Now they do way too much damage. Yatoro does more than like everybody in the team fight combined from both sides. He just eviscerates heroes. It wasn't even the cleanest initiation. They actually did not get the Ag Static Storm before the BKB of the Timber because I believe the Ascetic Cap procced, so he got status resist. Either way, they kill him anyway. So Tundra in a situation where Spirit maybe messed up a slight bit of that initiation, doesn't matter.
Just dropping the wall here, 33 to try and make some illusions and push them back because he knows he's not going to get the backup of Skiter or 9 for still a full minute.
Tower's dropping. Racks drop fast.
Bottom Rack's not standing a chance here. Spirit this time round having no struggle, taking away a full set of Racks.
25 now hit on Yatoro as well, so now he's got the double ruptures, which is always going to be the dream versus this Timber Darkseer Ursa. 25 also hit on Collapse. And yeah, we did see, unfortunately for 9, of course, even though he did hit the 25 right before that fight, he was just absolutely, not like fully controlled, but he was on the full retreat kind of in the fight, so wasn't able to actually utilize any of his damage. Spirit, 13k lead. Pretty much all the important spells going to be back up in a second here. Static Storm's at the ready. Already on 34.
They find him in the trees here, Mira. Catches him with the Hex opening. That's another core dead. 33 does have buyback. They even forced to use it here because they're going to bring the push down the middle lane.
Sneyking.
Well, using a huge amount of mana, but not to be worried as Mira is ready to top him up. It's alright, he's ready to dive in. Skiter's going to come in and return with the bashes. Larl, he'll zip forward to finish off Sneyking. BKB being popped now by Yatoro, who's on the retreat, so the double buybacks come out from Sneyking and 33. It's not to catch anyone right now. Yatoro getting healed up and by the life drain. 9 trying to find the Pugna.
Yatoro?
He's getting low. The impetus is not quite enough for 9. He's able to cut across. They bring him down. The arena's here in return as Collapse and Larl try to turn, but the Fury Swipes are stacking up for Skiter. He's brought down Larl. Now they can look towards Collapse. BKB's back up. See if they can chase down this Mars. It'd be a huge kill to find already on top of Yatoro and Larl. As 33 keeping his distance, they're surrounding and kiting Collapse. They'll come in for the kill, and Tundra, they will manage to strike back here. They push back Spirit. Does cost them the 2 buybacks from 33 and Sneyking. But again, they're keeping this game alive, Tundra.
Needed buybacks. Absolutely needed. Good damage. I mean, a bit of an overcommitment, it did feel like. Spirit, they maybe got a little eager there, rupturing the Enchantress, diving into the base. But Tundra, they're able to punish this time around. Buybacks come in, they get some good connection. And honestly, Sneyking, he did a fair bit of damage there to Yatoro as he's trying to run away. Gets like, what, 7, 8 impetus shots onto him. And Skiter, level 25 hit. If it's toe-to-toe, standing straight matchup versus the Bloodseeker with this Nullifier now, he can take those fights.
I see how much damage they can do. 3 heroes dead on Spirit. Quite the opening that Tundra's managed to find. The first fight in quite some time that goes in their favor.
It's expensive.
They'll back off from this.
2 buybacks.
I mean, Roshan's back up. Skiter's going to be able to get in. So another great opening here to step into the Roshan and claim what will be, I believe, what their 4th Roshan. They've managed to seal themselves to this game, Tundra, 43 minutes in.
Okay, now the question is, do you give the Ags to Saksa?
I mean, who else is needing one?
It's probably the Timber is honestly the best one, but I'm like, okay, they'll give it a 33. All right, okay. I mean, I was obviously joking a little bit about the about the line, but okay, interesting. They'll give it to the Darkseer instead. And yeah, Collapse. He's giving. It was instant response.
The Roche timings have indeed been very, very, very good for Tundra. The last 2 in particular, right? That one coming in at the kind of the one point in the game, in the later half of this game, where Tundra did get a good fight under them, and then of course that last one coming at the exact moment that Spirit kind of gave up around waiting at the pit and leaving it.
I mean, because honestly, like, if you look at the whole game, really, if Tundra didn't have these Aegis, this game would have been kind of a stomp from Spirit, it feels like. The Aegises have been keeping Tundra in a place where they can actually potentially come back in this one still.
I mean, that's
I can understand Collapse's frustration for sure.
I mean, that's Dota 2. You know, there's RNG involved, but it's RNG that you can plan for. And Tundra, they've managed to secure themselves those last 2 moments around Roshan.
Have you seen Miposhka's inventory in the last few moments, by the way?
What's he going for now?
Look at he's got 4 obs and 10 sentries. My man is ready for the warding mission, and he is ready to find the opportunity to seal this game. But Tundra, they're definitely still making them work for it, and now Aegis, G's, and everything too. It's another extra layer that could just be difficult for Spirit to just barrel right through. 33, it looks like he probably wants to buy his item, because he did, of course, use that buyback earlier. Could be another big one. I mean, Lincoln's, of course, versus these ruptures and stuff, definitely still big.
He's out of that.
He's hungry. He's big, 25. A wildly close game, even though it was, 15-20 minutes of Tundra owning, then 20 minutes of Spirit kind of owning this whole time. It's kind of back to a state where initiation is going to be a big dictator of what goes down for the most part. Still feels like Spirit in quite a comfortable position, of course, but if they make a couple mistakes, you can definitely see Skiter take advantage.
Arcane room for Skiter as well. Always a nice one to have on this Ursa. Really enable you to pop off in the fights between all the Earth shocks and enrages.
Let's see if he gets Yules immediately, though.
That's true. That's what, that's Miposhka's job. Oh, there is indeed ways to mess with him.
Skiter.
Take this all away from him.
He's in.
You get a glimpse of him here as he shows his face. Just going to try and push back onto Larl. Larl kites him out. They bring the Skiter down pretty low. Won't quite be able to finish him off the once. This will be protected as Skiter's going to be able to safely stand to the side and heal up here.
That's 1 rupture used.
Good luck to go again, Tundra.
Spirit also, I mean, they still are very ready to fight. I mean, they expected a rupture, so they still have another one.
Yeah, they've got the refresher ready to go again on Collapse. They've got the double ult. And there's to get the Hex opening. Quick damage done this time round. Not a chance here on the first life. Skiter Collapse jumps in. He's Sneyking. The spear comes in, and indeed the Static Storm laid down. The Hex to follow up. Skiter not a chance on his second life as he goes down. Saksa just trying to steal some mana on the way up. But he is indeed going on the way out. He's out. 33 as well. Finished off by the spear. With that, 4 heroes gone.
And that might just be it.
This is going to be a big push coming down the middle now. Spirit.
they're so good at fighting this game, honestly. The perfect target they go for. They get the Ursa, they bait him. He doesn't want to kind of pop too much of anything because he has his Aegis, but then it's like, oh my god, why didn't I use BKB? I'm respawning into an Ag Static Storm.
Yeah, no, very well prepared for by Spirit. I mean, honestly, we've seen the frustrations that Spirit may have had for the timings of the Aegises that Tundra got this game. Every single Aegis fight has pretty much been a fight that Spirit end up taking against Tundra.
I mean, honestly, like Spirit, it's so wild that this game, it kind of is a stomping game for Spirit in a way, but Tundra has made it look kind of close, all things
considered. Yeah, they have. They managed to extend this one. And it's still not over yet. You know, we're going to have Saksa back up in a second. 9, he has got buyback. So they'll be able to keep this game going a little bit more here, Tundra.
Ag Static Storm is back up, though. So as soon as they do a respawn, they could just get caught inside of it again from Miposhka. And they are going to have to play versus Megas.
Approach picked up by Larl as well. Let's see if they get a chance for one more fight. Spirit, they've had enough. They want to put an end to this one. Saksa is going to get caught by the arena. A Spirit claim another life. The fortifications there, 10 seconds until we're going to have the Ursa back in.
It's over.
But the Ancient's exposed. It's just 9. He'll throw himself in to try and push them off. He is in with the Hex on Yatoro, but bring him down pretty low. Collapse is trying to finish up the Ancient here with the Aghanims. That's 9 gone. No buyback left on him. Skiter back in action. Tries to come in onto Collapse, but Spirit, they're just closing it up. Onto the Ancient they go. GG.